Hi, my name is Rory McClelland, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the benefits of switching to a plant-based diet. So I consider myself an observant person. I often find myself noticing things that will go under the radar. I'm working at a grocery store. I notice trends and other things that influence the way people purchase their food and items they will consume. So, for example, as many of you may have heard, there has been a recent shortage of meat caused by the closing of certain meat producing factories and facilities. So, what I noticed was that this produced an immediate buyout of many of the popular meat products in the store. So, working day to day, I saw this so called shortage had little to no effect on the overall output of meat. So, albeit the first rapid wave of purchases did cause a little shortage, but shortly after, I noticed the price of corn plummeted, with people being able to buy 4 ears of corn for about $1. Considering this, as a part-time student who must pay for his meals and other essential parts of my life, uh, I thought, wow, could altering my diet by removing the consumption of animal products possibly introduce cheaper meals and healthier alternatives to the meat eating monotony that has lured me into In-N-Out and Taco Bell on countless occasions? The answer, yes. Going plant-based can lead to benefits in one's health, economic status, ethical conscience, and for the environment. So I'm going to talk about the history of meat eating as well as alternatives that one can take in order to alter their diet. So the history of meat. Think about the satisfaction of biting into a juicy, mouth-watering burger, or the smell of a rotisserie chicken roasting in the oven. So this satisfaction can actually be traced throughout history. Um, Early peoples during hunter-gatherer societies would consume meat as a rarity. Thus, according to Benjamin Wargaff from the University of California Press, meat eating was seen as a more charismatic and rewarding activity. And although it wasn't as calorie efficient as foraging or gathering food, it was actually seen as more of a social activity where people would sit around a fire and eat together and share information. So this was changed in the early 1800s when the Industrial Revolution occurred. So because of the Industrial Revolution and urbanization, new animal husbandry techniques brought about the production of animal products. And since the meat production has increased, according to Benjamin Wargatt, it is even the meat production and consumption has actually doubled from 1960 to 2010. So, in a chart done by All Our World in Data, it compiled all of the habitable land on the planet and found that of all the land on the planet, 71% is able to be lived on. Of this 71%, 50% is split up for agriculture, and 77 is used for livestock. So this massive part of our livable space on Earth is being used for livestock. And considering this, we must think about the effects that this has on the planet. So according to humanesociety.org, which has a clear bias against livestock producers, it states that 37% of methane and 65% of nitrous oxide come from the farm animal sector. So these are two very potent greenhouse gases that actually increase the effects of the greenhouse effect on the planet. And by having such a large animal farming sector, we are causing our planet to slowly decline and have other negative effects on climate. So this also compiles with the meat eating paradox, which many people claim to care about animals, but yet consume them in large amounts daily. So this paradox often weighs on people's consciences, whether they think about it or not. Eating meat alone while claiming to love pets or other animals in the environment often cause people to have this like innate sense of guilt. So I'm here to offer some alternatives. So there are many alternatives such as Beyond and Impossible Meat that allow for the acquisition of the necessary proteins required to survive without consuming actual animal products. So according to a chapter from his book, The Global Guide to Animal Protection, which supports the humane treatments of animals, Stephen Walsh states that much research has been done to prove the effectiveness of a plant-based diet in preventing heart disease and other forms of health-related issues. So grocery delivery services that many of you may or may not have used, such as Amazon Fresh and Fresh Direct and Instacart, state that Beyond Meat is about $5 to $6, which contains 20 grams of protein, which is almost more than most meat products when you buy them. A meat patty of the same consistency would cost about $7 to $8. Even simply Googling plant-based recipe comes up with over 754 million results. So meal planning is definitely accessible. Some of these results include cauliflower curry, ramen noodle soup, or even a simple vegetable sonoran bowl. All these recipes are available on Google with less than 45 minutes of prep time. So along with this, switching to a plant-based diet will also lift your conscience of the meat-eating paradox. So by not eating meat, you are no longer faced with the ethical dilemma of having to consume animals while also caring about them. This is also addresses our environmental issues because Carol Smith of United Nations University reports on new research that finds that within 30 years, greenhouse gas emissions will increase by 80% if we do not change our dietary habits. So this is largely as a result of diet shifts towards refined sugars, fats, and land-intensive processes that are required for animal farming. So by no means am I demanding that anyone switch to a plant-based diet. I worked at Veggie Grill, a vegan restaurant, for almost 2 years, and I myself found it impossible to maintain this diet. All I'm asking is that you are conscious about what you're consuming. The planet is a living thing, and we must utilize its gifts with care. So next time you bite into a juicy burger, think about it. Think about our friend here, and consider the planet and the gifts it has to offer. Thank you.